Facebook's up, Periscope's online, and we're waiting for Twitch and YouTube to send their data. So we're waiting for their information to go through. So we're on. We're on YouTube. We're on the YouTube side. Say, okay. Once again, good morning. Wherever you may be, East Coast, West Coast, all across the world. Welcome to the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Saturday, July 6th. We're going to be going over today's game recaps, and we also will have news headlines as well in this show. So if you want to come in and give me a hi, whether it's on Facebook, YouTube, Periscope, and Twitch, you can come on down. We'll entertain your comments. So we have everything on. So let's go ahead and go over some news recaps. Okay, we're going to first start with the Summer League last night. Summer League basketball. Switch this out. Okay, everything's on the screen. Summer League basketball last night. The New Orleans Pelicans. It was the first night of the debut of Zion Williamson being a New Orleans Pelican. Last night they did win 80-74. The game was cut short due to a 6.9 earthquake in near the Southern California area. Hopefully everybody was okay. Look, we do not want to see these things happen, but the truth of the matter is that's Mother Nature in her wrath. So let's talk about last night's game. Zion Williamson, I'm gonna tell you right now, he had a few last night he went 4 for 9 last night. No, 2 for 9. He had so that's one thing about it. Look, in this game, look, a lot of people was talking about how Zion Williamson is not going to make it in the NBA and blah, 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 blah. I mean, look, this is only his first game, folks. This is only his first game. You can't go the end of the earth saying, well, he's not going to make it. Oh, we're going to lose again and again. So, hey, that's the thing. He had 11 points last night. That's a start for Zion Williamson. That is a start. And mostly those shots were on dunks last night. So I don't want to hear people crying and saying, bitching and moaning, saying that he's not going to be a viable asset to the New Orleans Pelicans when he is going to be a viable asset to the New Orleans Pelicans. So that's my take on it. We have the box scores on the screen. Everything, you'll see it on the screen. He went, like I said, the main guy last night was Frank Jackson. He had 30 points. He was 11 to 17 from the floor. He had 30 points. He also only had 3 rebounds, none on offense, 3 on defense. So that's one thing we're looking at here. Also, let's go ahead and give you the total team stats on the screen from last night. If you want to come in and talk about it, come on down. We will entertain your comments. Pelicans, look, this is only the Summer League. They only shot 39% last night, 30 of 77. So don't come on here and cry and fuss and say, oh, we ain't got no team this year, blah, 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 blah. No, it's only Summer League. Wait till the preseason. Wait till the regular season, folks. The New York Knicks wasn't even better neither. They shot 37.7%. That's 29 to 77 shots. Also, three-point shooting. Both teams were very anemic in this game. 22% for the Pelicans and 27 for the Knicks. So, look, it was very sloppy shooting on both sides of the spectrums, whether it's on the field goals or the three-point. Everything was a little lethargic. So, look, I mean, a lot of people's gonna say, well, oh, we ain't got no team this year. This is the end of the world. It's not the end of the world, folks. So, um, let's go ahead and go over some more stuff for you. Free throw shooting. Um, the Knicks struggled at the line. They only shot 50%, 8 of 16. The Pelicans shot 13 of 17 for 76.5%. Rebounding abilities. This is what I keep talking about in these videos. Rebounding. Rebounding is the most effective tool. Last night, the Pelicans out-rebounded them 51-42. Offensively, they kind of they led by 5. So it was a complete and utter um, domination on the rebounds with the New Orleans Pelicans. So 51-42 was the outcome of the rebounds in the game. Defensive rebounds, both teams kind of did well. Pelicans had 36. The Knicks had 32. Another thing I talk about in these videos constantly is turnovers. If you turn over the ball, your chances of winning absolutely diminishes. Absolutely diminishes. The New York Knicks had 10 turnovers. The Pelicans had 9. And this is only summer league basketball, folks. This is not the regular season where you're gonna get all nuts and go crazy and write your stuff on your Facebooks and all that. So look, I'm just trying to give you a sign of common sense. Look, you got to evaluate this talent during this time because it's on, like I said, summer league. So we'll give you the play-by-play. We'll go ahead and pull this off. Okay, let's begin in the first quarter. It started. Mitchell Robinson, Bigby Williams gains the possession. 9:45. It was shooting foul by Knox and free throws by Zion Williamson. So he missed the second free throw and he made the first free throw. So 9:45 at that time frame. They started at 9:26. They started getting fouls. Trier, also Allen, hit a 9-foot shot at the 9:19 mark. Also, Kendrick Williams hit a shot at the 9:07 mark. That was in the first quarter. Now, Kevin Knox hit a 26-foot three-point shot. It made it 6-3. So it was 6-3 Knicks. And then Zion Williamson misses a 26-foot shot. That was at the 8:40 mark in the first period. And let's see. Frank Jackson misses a 27-foot shot. He should make those shots. That's very important. But this, like I said, this is only summer league. That's what we're detailing right here in this broadcast. Also, let's see. At the 8:23 mark, they make it 9-5. So Pelicans had to be honest with you, Pelicans was trailing in this game by 4, 9-5. So it was a 9-5 game. 2 free throws by Frank Jackson made it 9-7. Mitchell Robinson gets an alley-oop dunk. That's at the 7:55 time frame. Made it 11-7. Kevin Knox hits a 25-foot three-point. They was bagging on this guy, but he hits a 25-foot three-pointer at the 7:37 mark. Kevin Knox. Also, let's go ahead and they didn't have a basket to the 6:56 mark. That was a free throw. Bigby Williams, remember him? He was from LSU. 2 of 2 from the line, made it 14-9. Also, the Knicks made it 16-9 on a 2-point shot. Also, at the 6:44 mark, the Knicks made it 17-9 on a free throw. That was one and one right there. And let's see. At the 6:19 mark, Kevin Knox hits a 23-foot three-point shot. A lot of people saying this guy's trash. They're seriously, sadly mistaken. They don't look at the play-by-play. I'm looking at it right now on my screen, and he hit a 23-foot shot. It made it 20-9. Now Zion Williamson gets a dunk. That's at the 6:04 mark. So that's the 6:04 mark. Now Zion Williamson once again makes it 20-13 on another dunk. That's another dunk right there. 5:41 left to play in the first quarter. Also, they made it 22-13 on a driving layup. So it was a driving layup. That was at 5:31 mark. Also, 4:46 mark, he makes a 3-foot dunk, makes it 22-15. R.J. Barrett, they was talking about hyping this game up between Barrett and Zion Williamson. He hits a 28-foot 3-point shot, made it 25-15. 25-15. That was at the 4:36 mark in the first quarter. The next basket won't be until the 4:02 mark. When Zion Williamson gets on the line, he makes one, he misses the second. That was at the 4:02 mark, makes it 25-16. Also, they get on the line again, so it was actually shooting situation. 3:40 left to play in the first. It was 26-16 on free throw. He misses the first one at the 3:40 mark and makes the second one. That was at the same time. Now, R.J. Barrett hits a 2-foot layup. So he hits a shot. R.J. Barrett was hitting the shots at the 3:12 mark. That was 28-16. And then he gets on the line. That would be considered an M1. So it was an M1. So 29-16 the score. Kevin Knox gets on the line. He misses the second free throw but makes the first free throw. That's at the 2:48 mark. Now, Frank Jackson hits a 20-foot pull-up jump shot. Made it 30-18. So it was 30-18. They had a comfortable lead, the New York Knicks. They had a very comfortable lead. Now, the next basket won't be until the 2:01 mark when Kenny Wooten makes a dunk, makes it 32-18. 2:01 left to play in the first. 1:53 left. Aubrey Dawkins hits a 27-foot three-pointer. I mean, hopefully this young man will make it with the Pelicans on the team because it made it 32-21. That was at the 1:53 mark in the first quarter. So we're still in the first quarter. The last basket after one was the Zion Williamson 2-foot dunk. Excuse me. It was a 2 feet layup shot. So he made a layup shot. So that was at the 1-second mark. Now let's go to the second quarter. We'll break it down for you. Second quarter play-by-play. 8:53. The baskets. They hit a 15-foot shot, makes it 34-23 at the 8:53 mark. Then they make at the 8:40 mark, make it 36-23 on a 2-point shot. So it was 36-23. Knicks. Also, Trier makes a layup with Lamar Peters' assist, made it 38-23. Kendrick Williams hits a 19-foot shot at the 7:48 mark, made it 38-25. Kendrick Williams gets on the line at the 7:26 mark and hits the first shot, misses the second shot, so it remains 38-26. Lamar Peters hits a 17-foot pull-up shot at the 7:14 mark for the New York Knicks, made it 40-26. Also, Chatham, trying to say his name, he had a dunk, made it 40-28. Also, Tyler Kavanaugh, 21-foot shot at the 6:51 mark, made it 42-28. Zion Williamson gets on the line. He misses the second shot and makes the first shot. That was at the 6:42 mark in the second quarter. Now, next one. Mitchell Robinson at the 6:09 mark hits alley-oop shot. That was 47-29. Mitchell Robinson comes back later at the 5:54 mark, gets a dunk. That was at the 5:54 mark in the second quarter. Also, Frank Jackson makes a driving layup, 49-31. So they cut the lead, 49-31. Pelicans. Okay. Let's see. 4:42. They get a driving layup, makes it 49-33. And free throw made it 49-34. They cut it down to maybe a couple of points. That was at 4:18 left to play in the second. All right, Bigby Williams get a 2-foot dunk that was from 2 feet away at the 4-minute mark. So that was the time frame we're looking at. So next one is let's see, 3:40 mark. They make it 52-36. So it's still a blowout game right in the first half. With Trier making a 3-point shot, Lamar Peters assists. Also, Cabell Bigby Williams makes a tip in, makes it at the 3:19 mark, so it's 3:19 left to play in the second quarter. Also, Frank Jackson comes back with a 27-foot 3-point shot, and that was it was 52-41. R.J. Barrett gets a drive-in layup at the 2:06 mark, makes it 54-41. Let's see. Frank Jackson hits a 27-foot 3-point shot. That was at the 1:51, so that was a perfect time to hit the threes because they're down by a couple, so they have to come in and try to make those shots. Now Knox makes a shot. I mean, they was banging on this guy. I mean, on YouTube. I mean, I was listening to these idiots on there banging on this guy. But the truth of the matter is, they don't read these box scores. They don't. So let's see. And we're still running on YouTube, so we're good. So the last shot was at the 26-second mark when R.B. Dawkins hits a 27-foot 3-point shot. 27-foot 3-point shot. So that was at 26 seconds. 56-49 at halftime. So they had a pretty good lead, the New York Knicks. So we'll go to the third quarter breakdown, play-by-play breakdown. We'll show you what happened. Okay, 9:28, the first basket started with a three-pointer, made it 59-49. That was from 27 feet. That was at 9:28 in the third quarter. Now Frank Jackson comes back, 8:43 left, and hits a 4-foot 2-point shot, made it 59-51. Also, driving layup made it 59-53. So that's a start right there for the New Orleans Pelicans coming back in this game, 59-53. And also Frank Jackson makes it 61. And the layup by R.J. Barrett made it 61. They came back. Frank Jackson hit a 25-foot shot. That was 25 feet. So he was hitting his threes. We'll show you his numbers after we break this down. Cheatham got on the line, hit 2 shots, made it 61-58. So it was very close in this third quarter. So it was a close game in this third quarter for both the New York Knicks and the New Orleans Pelicans. Also, 7:14 left to play. Frank Jackson hits a dunk shot. It was a 1-point game, 61-60. So that's how it went. Cheatham hits a tip-in shot. It was 62-61. It was like I said, it was a 1 point game. Then it went back up to maybe three. I could say I'm looking at it right now. Bigby Williams gets a dunk, makes it 64-61, and then he comes back 5:57 and hits a 14-foot jumper. That was 66-61. Pelicans led 5:57 mark in the third quarter. R.J. Barrett missed a 27-foot shot, so they're gonna rip on him like rice on gravy. Hopefully he can improve because they'll have a lot of time to improve on their shots and stuff like that. So let's go ahead and give you the 5:11 mark tip-in shot by Dawkins from the Pelicans. It was 68-61. Also, Frank Jackson hits a 26-foot three-point shot, so he hits it at the 3:48 mark. So it made it 71-61, and the drive-in layup made it 71-63 at the 3:48 mark. So 3:48 mark, it was 71-63. It was 74-63 on a three-point shot by Frank Jackson. So Frank Jackson was making his shots last night. He was absolutely making his shots. That was from three-point range. So I think we should keep this young man. I think we should keep Frank Jackson. I think we should. So next one we're going to be looking at is 2:48 mark. Frank Jackson gets a drive-in layup, makes it 76-63. That's 2:48 mark left to play. Jackson gets on the line, and he 2:48. It was an N and one. So 77-63. So 77-63. 2:48 left. Now Kevin Knox cuts the lead. It was 77-65. He hits a floating three-foot shot. That was a floating shot. So 2:02 mark. Also, they come back, make it 77-67. So here's the thing about this lead. When you have a big lead like that, do not give it up. That's the main thing you don't do is give up leads like that. Because they can come back. They can literally come back. I mean, that's what you got to realize. Now, Kevin Knox makes it 77-69 on a 2-foot shot. Also, it was 79-69, 10-point game. Then it went back to about, I could say, 11. So it was an 11-point game. First free throw was good. On the that's London with the Pelicans. I got to see what his numbers was. So that was at the end of the third quarter, 80-69. 80-69. So we'll go to the last quarter breakdown. Okay, last quarter began with Mitchell Robinson making two free throws. That's 80-71. So he cut the lead down to a fraction, 80-71. Knox made it 80-72. It was a free throw. He missed the second free throw, 8:40 mark. Also, 7:56 mark in the game. That's when the action really started to happen with the 6.9 magnitude earthquake. They had to stop the game at the 7:56 mark, so they had to delay it for a few minutes. So unfortunately, they had to call the game because look, that's a situation you do not want to find yourself in when you have witnessing an earthquake. They was talking about the scoreboard was like swaying, like it's like swaying around. I mean, that's the effects right there. That's the after effects of an earthquake. That's one thing. Look, I mean, I never saw an earthquake before, but the truth of the matter is, look, they're mostly deadly. So, I mean, that's one thing. Look, hopefully everybody in that area that where that earthquake hit. Hopefully everybody is okay. So that was the end of the game right there on a Alfredo Alonzo Trier two foot shot made it 80 to 74. So that's how the game ended. 80 to 74 was the final. So I look at it this way. We're going to go ahead and go over the box score and break it down for you in just a second. Go back up. Go back to the box score screen. Okay, box score. Let's go ahead and give you the um, information on Jackson. Jackson, I'm looking at it right here. He went 5 for 9 on his three, so he was very consistent on his threes, but the team wasn't. The team was at 22.6%, 7 of 31 shots, but he was the only one that made an impact last night in this game. Big Week Williams had 12. Like I said, he was 5 for 6. Kendrick Williams, this guy right here, I was very proud of this young man when he got when he was on the team last year and he was making an impact, but he had 5 points. So hopefully they will keep Kendrick Williams. That's no doubt about it. So what y'all think about this first debut of Zion Williamson? You can post your comments via Facebook, Periscope, and also YouTube. Please observe the rules. Please, we're gonna write that in there so nobody can come in here and be trolls and stuff like that. Please listen. Please follow. Hold on one second. Please follow all rules. No, all rules. No trolling. No trolling. Hold on one second. No trolling or personal attacks. So everything's on the screen, folks. You got to abide by these rules. Please follow. It goes for everyone. Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. No trolling and no personal attacks. So if you want to come in and state your opinion, state your opinion. It's got to be sports related. State your opinion. So, so if you come up in here and troll, you got to be blocked. You're gonna get banned. So I don't want to have to do it, but we have to set rules here. So okay, let's go ahead and go over the next recap, which is the new minor league baseball. We'll talk about the New Orleans Baby Cakes and also the Biloxi Suckers. We'll switch over. Okay, let's talk about that game last night in minor league baseball. If you're a minor league baseball fan, you can come in and give me your takes. Um, Last night, the New Orleans Baby Cakes lose by the final of 6-5 in the game. I'm going to go ahead and break this game down for you in just a second. Let me switch. I have the box scores on my screen, so I'm about to switch over. I'm about to give you an insight breakdown on this game. So let's go ahead and start. Okay, let's begin. Top of the first, San Antonio did score in the top of the first. They scored 1 run. Bottom of the first, the Baby Cakes did score. Let's go to the, let's see, they did score in the top of the third. We'll go ahead and look at the top of the third inning log. That's what we're showing you. Okay, so top of the third, let's see. So they did score a run in that inning. Um, they also Baby Cakes did score in the bottom of the fifth. So they did score in the bottom of the fifth. They scored one in the top of the sixth, San Antonio, one in the top of the seventh, and one in the top of the eighth. So that was so they did score the 3 runs, the baby cakes. So they did score in the bottom of the seventh. Let's give you the info on them. Bottom of the seventh inning, they did score. Okay, it was an Austin Dean single that scored the 3 runs. So it was 3-run inning there for the that was in the bottom of the seventh inning. So they fell short 6-5. So the Baby Cakes are now 48-40. They will take on the same team, I think, again tonight. So let's go ahead and give you the box score on them. Switching the box score around, so I'm going to be switching. Okay, the box score. Let's go give you the box score for the New Orleans Baby Cakes. Magnus Sierra went 3 for 5 last night. He had 1 RBI. Also, Lewis Brinson went 1 for 4. Isam Diaz went 0 for 4. Also, O'Brien went 1 for 5. Rosa Herrera with Rosell Herrera went 0 for 1. I'm trying to say their names. Okay, I'm looking at it right now. Austin Dean went 1 for 1. Also, Devin Marrero went 1 for 4. Eddie Alvarez went 1 for 4. Tyler Hyman went looking at it 3 for 4 last night in the game. They did let's see how many base runners they left on base. They did leave 9 on base, 3 for 13 with runners in scoring position. So that was the New Orleans Baby Cakes side. Let's go ahead and give you the pitching matchups. Last night, the pitching, they had Cody Potteet, that's P-O-T-E-E-T. He had 7 strikeouts and no walks. He gave up 4 home runs, 8 hits, 5 runs. 5 was earned. Also, Kyle Keller, he gave up a hit in 0.2 innings. Also, RJ Alvarez got the loss. He was, let's see, 2.0 innings. He had 4 hits given up, 1 run, 1 earned, 1 walk, and 2 strikeouts. So he had 2 strikeouts last night, but he gave up a hit, run, an earned run, and also a walk. Baby Cakes gave up 1 walk last night. They gave up 4 home runs. That's something you can't be doing in these games when you're fighting against first place team like San Antonio. So you got to be more consistent on your pitching. They gave up 13 hits last night. They just gave up 13 hits, 6 runs, and 6 was earned. So that's something. Look, you cannot be doing. That's just that's the written rule of baseball. That's the written rule of baseball. When you give up these runs and you give up home runs, you're not going to win the game. That's one thing for sure. I mean, I'm not here to give you fake news or none of that. I'm here to tell you the facts, and I'm telling you the facts right now. Everything you're seeing on that screen is actual facts. So that's one thing for sure. So they did give up 13 hits as well. The San Antonio pitching, but they also gave up 5 hits, 13 hits, 5 runs, 3 was earned. They walked 4 and struck out 8, so I'd say that was good. Working on the pitching staff and stuff like that, so I think it's great. So, but the truth of the matter is, look, right now the Baby Cakes are 48-40 on the season. 48-40. I mean, we'll show you the standings in just a few minutes. I'm gonna go ahead and pull it up on my screen. So give me just a second to pull up the standings. So I'm gonna about to pull it up in 1 second. PCL standings. Give me just a second. Pull up the PCL standings. Okay. In the American Southern Division right now, the Baby Cakes are 5 out of the playoff race. So that's the elimination number is 48. In division play, they're 16-16. They're on a one-game loser streak, so they're gonna have to gain some ground because they're 5 games out. They are 5 games out of first in the American Southern Division of the PCL. I mean, look, San Antonio is in first place. They are a very good team. Right now, their division record's 18-14. Their road record right now is 23-20. So that's what separates them. Right now, they're currently in third place in the American Southern of the PCL. So I look at it this way. Look, you got to gain some ground. If you don't gain some ground, guess what? Your season will be just in the crappers. So that's my take on it. On minor league baseball on the New Orleans Baby Cake side, let's go ahead and go to the Biloxi Shuckers. We're going to talk about the Double A team out in Biloxi. The Biloxi Shuckers went over the Mississippi Braves. They were on the road. They are 49-37. We will show their standings in just a few minutes. They win 3-0 over the Mississippi Braves. Let's go ahead and give you the scoring plays. I was about to show you the scoring plays in just a second. Okay, the first 2 runs came in the top of the second inning on a double and also a sac bunt. So it's a sacrifice bunt. Made it 2-0. Also, wild pitch by Connor Johnstone. CJ Jaimo Josie did score, made it 3-0. That was on a 2-out. That was in the top of the 8th in the game. Here's the bottom of the ninth. The Biloxi Shuckers struck out Tara Nesluni swinging, ground out and ground out. So that's what they did. So it was a complete utter shutout right there for the Biloxi Shuckers. They went 3-0. The winner was Bella Solo. He's 7-0. We'll go ahead and give you the box score on him. Okay, box score on my screen. Biloxi was showing the Biloxi's box score, and also the Mississippi Braves box score. Avals went 1-for-4. Jaimo Josie went 2-for-4. Thomas went 0-for-4. Leonard went 1-for-4. Gatewood went 1-for-4. Wilson Gatewood 1-for-3. Excuse me. Reply that. Gatewood 1-for-3. Wilson 1-for-4. Sergo Beer went 3-for-4 for the Shuckers. Alvarez went 0-for-3. And let's see. Bellario went 0-for-2. So we're looking at it right now. So that's the box score we went over. Let's show you the runners left on base was 11. Team was 4. Runners in scoring position, the Shuckers was 1-for-5 with runners in scoring position. So not a good number right there to ride home about. You have to drive those runs home Um, because if you don't drive those runs home, I'm gonna be honest with you, you're not gonna get them um, home anytime soon. That's a very important in baseball. You have to drive those runs home. When you have runners in scoring position, you have to drive them home. I mean, that's the unwritten rule of baseball. That's what I keep saying in these broadcasts, and I'm going to keep saying them again and again and again. Okay, let's look at the Biloxi Shuckers pitching staff. 10 strikeouts, so that was a very good performance by this team. They only gave up 3 hits. Um, um, Rasman went 3 innings. He had 4 strikeouts. He gave up three no 1 hit, so he gave up 1 hit. ERA is 4.24. Also, Bella Salo is Bella Salario. Um, he went 5 innings, 2 hits, 5 strikeouts. Also, Ponce, that's Ponce. He had 1 strikeout and also 1 inning of work. So that's 1 inning of work. Um, 174 was the ERA. So Mississippi. Let's go ahead and look at Mississippi Braves. They had 10 strikeouts and 1 walk. Davison had 9 for Biloxi in 7 innings. He gave up 7 hits, 2 runs. 2 of them was earned. Also, Johnstone had 2.0 innings. He gave up 2 hits, 1 run. Um, one of them was earned, 1 walk, and 1 strikeout. So that is the um, box score recap of the Biloxi Shuckers and also the New Orleans Baby Cakes. We'll have the major league ones in just a second. So this is all box score, all information. Let's go ahead and give you the standings for the Shuckers. So let's go ahead and do that. I'm about to swing it over to the standings. I'm about to swing it back over. Let's go to the Southern League standings. Pull this up. Okay, Southern League standings. In the South Division, Biloxi right now. Let's switch this over to the overall standings right now. They are 49 and 37. They have a comfortable lead in the Southern Division of the Southern League. They're on a 2-game winning streak. Pensacola is only 2 games out, and Mississippi's only 9 games out as well. But they're on a 7-game losing streak, so it's not good for that team. Also, the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimps are 11 games out. They're on a 1-game losing streak, but the Mobile Bay Bears are 34 and 50, so they're 14 out of the Southern League South Division. So right now, Biloxi has a comfortable lead. I'll show you the current standings. In the current standings, Jacksonville is at 9 and 7. Pensacola at 9 and 7, so it's an even number right there. Also, Biloxi is 8 and 8. They're 1 game out, so that most likely will be the playoff standings right there. And the Mobile Bay Bears are 7 and 9. They're 2 games out, and also the Mississippi Braves are 3 games out of the lead. But the current standings right now, that's the current standings. These are the overall standings we're showing you on the screen. So please do not get it confused. This is what we're showing you. So this is the minor league baseball recap. We will go ahead and recap the Houston Astros and also the Texas Rangers. So I'm going to go ahead and do that. Switch this out. And we'll go to the Houston Astros score. Houston Astros lose 5-4 to the Los Angeles Angels of Anaheim. Right now they're 55 and 33. They shouldn't be losing. They have no business doing this because um, this is going to set them back. That's one thing. They're going to set them back big time. So let's go ahead and give you a play summary. Okay, let's begin with the Houston Astros in the bottom of the second. That was Michael Brantley hit his 12th home run of the season, made it 1-0. But Los Angeles came back with 2 home runs in the top of the third. So it was 3-1 LA Angels. Also, the Astros came back on a ground out. That was on ground out. Michael Brantley scored, made it 3-2 ground out play. Now, in the top of the sixth and the top of the eighth inning, so top of the sixth and top of the eighth inning, um, the Angels hit 2 home runs. They were 2 solos. So Mike Trout hits his 26th home run, makes it 5-2 LA Angels. Also in the bottom of the eighth, the Astros came back. Euler Grunner, I'm saying his name right, hits his 12th home run, made it 5-4. So that was the scoring in the innings. Bottom of the ninth, Astros did not do too well coming back. So they just had a ground out, strikeout, and ground out. So that's one thing you can't be doing in the last half of the innings because you're down 5-4. You should be able to score those runs in those innings. You should be able to score those runs in those innings. So Verlander gets the loss. He's 10-4. Pena gets a win. He's 6-2 for the LA Angels. So let's go ahead and pull this up. Box score. Okay, the Houston Astros box score. If you can see the Houston Astros box score, let me know. Let me see if I can give you a little breathing room. There it is. You can see it. I mean, if you can see it on our screen, let me know. Okay, let's go ahead and go over the Houston Astros box score. Springer went 0 for 4. He's got to start hitting the ball. Altuve went 0 for 4. He was left on base 2 times. You cannot be 0 for 4 and expect to make an impact. Also, Bregman. I am very disappointed in Bregman. I'm very disappointed in him. I got to say it. Sure, he was elected to the All-Star team, but he went 0 for 3. That's a complete no-no right there. You got to show that you're gonna hit the ball. Brantley was the only one to hit the ball yesterday. It was he was 3 for 4 in the game. He was 3 for 4. Alvarez was 1 for 4. Gruno went 1 for 4. Reddick went 0 for 3. Chirios went 0 for 4, and Straw went 0 for 2 for the Houston Astros. They left 13 men on base. 13 men on base. How the hell? You're 55 and 33. You got to realize, if you don't get your runs in, I said it about 5 seconds ago, you got to get your runs in. You can't leave men on base like that and expect to win. That's not going to happen. That's in the real life. So that's one thing you cannot be doing. They were 1 for 8 with runners in scoring position. 1 for 8. How the hell can you fucking do that? That is pitiful baseball. With runners in scoring position. That is absolutely pitiful baseball. I mean, 55 and 33. I mean, if I'm saying a misprint or something like that, Also, they left 6 men on base. That was a team average. But this is the actual average: 13 left on base. I mean, LA left 7. That was less. The Astros has got to stop leaving men on base. Period. End of story. So let's go ahead and give you the pitching. Um, Justin Verlander, he had a start last night. He gave up 7 hits, 4 runs, and 4 was earned. He walked 1 and struck out 6. He gave up 3 home runs. And he's a good pitcher, giving up 3 home runs in that game. So that's a total of 4 home runs. You can't do that shit. That's one thing you can't be doing. Is giving up these home runs. You're better. They're better than that. The Astros are better than that. So Rendon has 1 strikeout. He gave up let's see, one hit, 1 run, and 1 of them was earned. James had 2 strikeouts. He gave up 1 hit, giving up 9 hits, giving up 5 runs, and 5 of them was earned. You can't do that. You got to be consistent. I know this is the first half of the season, but you got to go into the All-Star break with some momentum. You have to go into this All-Star break with momentum. That's one thing you can't be doing. Now, second half of the season is going to be very interesting for the Houston Astros. So, fighting with their arch nemesis, the Texas Rangers. We're going to go over them in just a few minutes. So, let's go ahead and wrap this up. Once again, the Astros are now 55 and 33. So they did lose 5-4 last night. So let's wrap this up, and we'll talk about the Texas Rangers. Texas Rangers are 47 and 41. This game right here. I'm looking at this score right here. This wasn't. They right now. I'm gonna tell you. Same thing with the Texas Rangers. They are right now. They're getting sloppy by the minute. They're getting absolutely sloppy. I mean, you can't be. You have a winning record right now, 47 and 41. I mean, they're resting on their laurels right now. They're absolutely resting on their laurels and not paying attention to detail and a sense of urgency. Because, look, I must tell you, all these teams that's as losing records, they're going to come up. They're going to come up, and they're going to be very consistent and fight to the end, or try to get one of those teams that has a winning record and try to knock them off just to get them out the playoffs. That's going to happen in the second half of the season. Now, we're looking at that very closely. So, let's go ahead and give you the scoring plays. Scoring plays, let's begin with the Minnesota Twins in the bottom of the second. They, let's see, it was no score, but they had, at the first beginning, but they hit a home run. It was single, it was 1-0. Home run, 2-0. Let's see, double, 3-0. Single, 3-0. And George Polanco hits a home run. That's his 13th for the season for the Minnesota Twins. That was their scoring inning. They scored 6 runs in that inning. That's telling you right there that the Texas Rangers are struggling in those innings. That's in the bottom of the second now. Now in the bottom of the fourth, Minnesota makes it 7-0. And then in the bottom of the fifth, it was 9-0. So it went up to 9-0. In the top of the seventh, they try to score, come back. It was 9-5. So it was a 9-5 game. So it was a very close game, but Minnesota kept on pounding the ball. They hit a home run. They hit a double and made it on those on two scoring plays, made it 12-5. Minnesota. Also in the top of the eighth, it was 12-6. They kind of um, scored that run, made it 12-6. Um, Also, bottom of the eighth, they kept pounding away with a double and also another double, made it 15-6. So this was a um, um, two-run special right there. So it was a two-run special, made it 15-6. So the Texas Rangers didn't do shit in the bottom of the ninth inning. They didn't, excuse my language to all the folks on Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. Excuse my language. They did not do shit. They did not try to come back in that top of the ninth. So that game was literally over. They got completely their ass whipped. They got their ass whipped in this game. Absolutely got their ass whipped in this game. That's one thing about it. I mean, when you give up 15 runs and 20 hits, look, your team got literally destroyed. Period. End of story. So that's one thing. Look, for sure. They're 47 and 41. They're going to have their struggles. But you got to learn how to adapt to those struggles and try to make some light out of it and try to score. In that top of the ninth, they ground out and flyouts. You can't do shit like that. You cannot do shit like that. Period. End of story. So let's go ahead and give you the box score plays. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and do that in 1 second. Texas Rangers. Chu went 1 for 5. He's hitting 278. He shouldn't be hitting 1 for 5. Going 1 for 5 in a game. Now, the Shields. He's hitting 259. Look, you got to hit the ball. He went 2 for 4. Now, Andres went 1 for 4. He's hitting 307. He should be hitting for the fences. I mean, that's one thing about it. He was left on base twice. Now, Mazza went 0 for 3. Forstall went 2 for 4. Cabrera went 1 for 4. Calhoun went 0 for 1. Odo went that's Odo is Odor Oder or something like that. It sounds like Oder, but he went 2 for 4. He's hitting 195. 195. How in the fuck you gonna you gotta be kidding me right there. Going 2 for 4 and hitting 195. Santana went 0 for 4. He's hitting close to 290, 289. And Federich went 1 for 4. He's hitting 237. He's not this young man. I'm gonna tell you, this guy. We're gonna show you his numbers. I'm gonna pull this up 1 second. We go to his stat numbers. His stat numbers. Let's show you his stat numbers. He's hitting 195. He's hitting he's 51 for 261. So look, that 195. His career is 243. 243. His last 7 games. I'm gonna show you his last 7 games. He was hitting 375. He was hitting 375 in his last 7. Now in his last 15, he was hitting 260. In his last 30, he was hitting 245. 245. You got to be kidding me. You can't be very sloppy and expect to be you're a professional. You got to have better stats than that. You got to produce. So that's why I say it's very important that these players. I'm pretty sure this young man right here, Odu, I'm saying his name right. Look, he needs to go down to the minor leagues. I'll be honest with you. This right here, this batting average isn't cutting it. It isn't cutting it for the Texas Rangers. So, um, I'd say, look, they were 3 for 8 in the with runners in scoring position. They left 8 on base, so it's kind of minimal, but not too bad. But Minnesota left 17, and they won. So how's that possible? I mean, I don't understand it. So okay, let's give you the pitching stats in the game. The pitching staff was absolutely shitty last night in the Texas Rangers game. It was absolutely shitty. Um, they gave up 20 hits, 15 runs, 15 was earned. They had 9 strikeouts but 2 walks, and they gave up 4 home runs. They were literally the Texas Rangers pitching staff was got slashed in a heartbeat. Got absolutely slashed in this game against the Minnesota Twins. Um, the main guy that gave up was Sampson. He gave up 11 hits. He gave up 7 runs. 7 was earned. He had 5 strikeouts. Sure, I can say that, but those hits and those runs, that's very important. That's um, Biddy gave up 1 hit. Martin gave up 4. St. John gave up 4. But the runs right here, this guy, Martin and St. John gave up um, 3 runs and 3 was earned. They got to be better than this. They got to be better than this. That's something you can't be um, swaying in. That's one thing about it. So um, that's my take on it. I'm gonna pull up the standings. I'm gonna go ahead and pull them up in 1 second. Okay, let's pull this up. Stat standings. Waiting on it to come up. Give me 1 second. We're still running, so we're good. Okay, let's go ahead and go over to the Texas Rangers in the AL West. Texas right now, they're 8 games out of the first place lead, but the wild card they're 2 out. So that's how that's possible when you're 2 out. When you're 2 out of the wild card. I mean, I'm pretty sure it's going to come down to maybe Oakland, um, because look, they're only point 0.5 out in the wild card race for the American League. But Houston right now has got the best lead. Houston. I mean, and they lost last night. Their road record is 24-19. The Texas Rangers is 18-24. 18-24. How in the hell, if you're going to be in a wild card race um, at the end of the season and you have an 18-24 record on the road, and also a 500 record of 22-28, and then extra win loss is at 46-42. Um, so that's something right there. They're on a 1-game loser streak. Now the main team is on the snide in the American League West is the Seattle Mariners. Seattle, what's going on? That's what I want to know. Um, Now let's go ahead and give you the entire the AL East has the Yankees at 57-29. Um, Tampa Bay. I'm gonna tell you right now. Tampa Bay is 8 out, but they're plus 0.5 um, out in the wild card. Now Boston's 2 games out of the wild card. So I'm pretty sure at the end of the season, if Boston comes up, they're going to be very consistent coming up and very and wanting to fight for that wild card. Now Toronto ain't got no chance. Toronto's 16 out of the AL East, AL wild card. So the AL wild card is 16 out and 25 out the division. Now the Baltimore Orioles, they right now they suck. They absolutely in the fucking crap. Now Minnesota with this win last night, um, is 55 and 32. So they got a comfortable lead in the AL Central. Now Cleveland is 6 out, but we don't know what their wild card status is. The White Sox on the wild card side is 6.0 out. So you might see some movement with the White Sox. Detroit, I don't know. Detroit's just garbage this year. They suck. Kansas City, they suck. But they're on a one-game winning streak. Their last 10 is 3-7, but their records at home and on the road is completely, and also 500 is completely trash. So if I was a betting man, I would say it will probably be Minnesota winning the Central, and the White Sox getting the wild card with the 6 games back in the standings. I would say that Cleveland right now could be fighting for it as well. So anything can happen in the AL Central. Now, once again, let's go ahead and go over the National League. The Atlanta Braves right now are 53 and 36. So I'm kind of um, confident that Atlanta might win this NL East. Philadelphia 6 out. The Nationals are 7 out. Now the bottom feeder teams, the Mets. I don't know if they could get some changes and stuff like that going on. They could easily kind of get back into the race. Now Miami is a excuse my fucking French, a fucking suck, a fucking leech. It's a leech. This team's a leech. They're not gonna get better anytime soon. They're on a 5-game losing streak. That is pathetic right there. I don't know why the Miami fans. And they wonder why the attendance at the Miami Marlins games are sucking. Now in the Central, let's go ahead and go over the Central. This is going to be a wild race right here in the NL Central. Milwaukee is 47 and 42. The Cubs are about a half a game out, about 0.5. So I'm pretty sure it's going to be between the Cubs and the Brewers at the end of the season. Now St. Louis can easily come up as well. They're 1 out of the divisional lead and also 1 out of the wild card lead. Pirates, they're 4 games out. I'm definitely not sure if they're going to come up. But they're only 3 out of that wild card spot. Now, the LA Dodgers at 60 and 30. So they're on a 1-game, 1-game losing streak. But Colorado is on a 4-game losing streak. I mean, how in the hell you're 44 and 43 and you suck and you're on a 4-game losing streak. I don't understand that. I mean, also Arizona, another team in the NL West, 2.5 games out of the wild card. Now San Diego, they thought this was a dead season for them. No, not really. Wild card, they were only 3. San Francisco, they're gonna have to get some trades going to get that team better because they're now right now they're just 39-48. It's not cutting it for that team. Um, um, Give me your take. What you think about these races in the NL and the AL? You can give me your take via Facebook, Periscope, YouTube, and Twitch. So you can come on down. But please read the rules when you come up in here because I have it posted. So that is my take on MLB baseball for today. Let's go ahead and see if I can. I'm going to talk about CFL football for a little bit. Um, okay, we're going to talk about the CFL games from last night. Let's go ahead and give you a recap on them. So let's give you the first recap. We're going to talk about the CFL games. We do this every time. We do this every Saturday, 24 hours after the CFL games are concluded. So let's go ahead and give you the information. This is from tsn.com. It's from Canada, and we're going to talk about the Canadian Football League. Last night, the Montreal Alouettes. This was week 4, so week 4 of the season. Montreal wins 36-29 against the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Montreal is 1-2 on the season, and Hamilton is 3-1 on the season. Let's give you the leaders in the game. Masoli, he's the former Ole Miss quarterback. He went 29-44, 401 yards, 2 touchdowns. Also, 8 Combs, 6 carries for 51 yards. And Jay Aiken, I'm saying his name right. 8 catches for 120. So he had a pretty good night with the Hamilton Tiger Cats. Montreal, V. Adams, 14 of 25 passing, 202 yards. Willie W. Starbuck, 22 carries, 203 yards. So he put up some good numbers last night. Standback. So he put up some pretty good numbers last night in that game against the Tiger Cats. So, and also B. Cunningham had 2 catches for 67 yards in the game last night. Let's give you the scoring summary. I'm about to give you the scoring summary in just a second. Okay, let's begin. In the first quarter, Montreal did score. First was on the field goal, 11:23 left to play. Also, William Starback, Stanback, excuse me, I'm saying this name right. William Stanback at a 5-yard rushing touchdown made it 9-0. With the extra point, made it 10-0. Hamilton did score at the 149 mark before the quarter ended. Made it 10-6. Hamilton. Um, in the second quarter was mostly field goals by Hamilton, a 36, 26, and 37-yarder. Also, Montreal hit a 43-yarder, and Hamilton with 0 seconds left to play on the clock hit another field goal. So it was 4 field goals by Hamilton in that second quarter. Now, let's see. Third quarter, they kick a 24-yard field goal, makes it 18-16. Montreal Standback hits a 2-yard run for a touchdown, made it 22-18, so it was 22-18. Also, in the fourth quarter, it was Montreal on a 1-yard run by Vernon Adams, made it 28-18. Also, extra point was good, 29-18. William Standback hit ran a 21-yard touchdown. That was 35-18. It was 36-18 on the extra point. Masoli hits Marcus Tucker for a 14-yard touchdown pass. 5:39 left to play in the fourth. 36-24. Also, Masoli um, hits him again on a 2-point conversion play. That was at the 5:20 mark, made it 36-26. And let's see, this is a hard name to announce. Lee, Lee, Lyram Hammer H.J. To spell his name, HJRULLAHU, had a 33-yard score. That was a 33-yard field goal attempt. So 33-yard field goal made it 36-29. Okay, stats in the game was on third down efficiency. They didn't go for third down efficiency. Looking at it, total plays in the game. Hamilton had 59 total plays. Montreal 57. Both teams had over 400 yards of total offense. Montreal 459, Hamilton 436. Also, both teams was passing. Rushing yards. This is where Montreal was coming up. They had 264 yards rushing. That was 8.5. That was always nearly 9 yards per carry. So that's something. They had a good running game last night for the Montreal Alouettes. They had no rushing touchdowns. I don't see either one having rushing touchdown. Red zone efficiency, none. Possession times was 34 minutes and 55 seconds for Montreal and 25 minutes and 5 seconds for the Hamilton Tiger Cats. So let's go ahead and give you the rest of the team. So he was the main guy on there. 6 carries for 51 yards, 8.5. Now Montreal. Let's go ahead and give you Montreal. I'm gonna try to see if I can pull up Montreal. So their running game. Look, this guy Stanback, excuse me. Stanback had 3 touchdowns. He had 203 yards. So he was the huge contributor of this team last night. 9.2 average. So, and also Vernon Adams had 7 carries for 59 yards, 8.4 average. So that's pretty good right there. Now, your main receivers was Bray had 8 catches for 54 yards, 6.8 average. So he was the main guy that was catching the football for the Alouettes. So that's the final. They win 36-29. So we'll move on to the next recap. I know this is a lot of well, we have to do this. We're doing these games. Okay, a lot of recapping. Okay, let's go ahead and give you the game on last night's game on this one. Okay, Winnipeg wins 29-14 over Ottawa. They have a 3-0 record, so they starting off on the right foot, 3-0. Ottawa is 2-1 in the second in the East Division. So let's give you the details on these guys, leaders last night. So Nichols had 16 of 20 passing, 262 for Winnipeg, 1 touchdown. A. Harris had 18 carries for 80 yards. Also, Demsky had 4 catches for 105 yards and 1 touchdown. Also, Davis had 21 of 36 for 234. Also, Madu Jr. Had 6 carries for 18 yards, and also Harris 6 catches for 87 yards in the ball game last night. Okay, let's go ahead and give you the scoring summary on this game. I'm going to go ahead and do that. Okay, scoring summary. I got it on my screen. Winnipeg did score. It was on a 82-yard pass play for a touchdown, made it 7-0. Um, Ottawa punched for 58 yards, no return. That was a single point. I made it 7-1. Um, it was an incomplete pass. Pass intended was intercepted. It was a 43 yard field goal attempt, but it was a single. In that made it 8-1. So it's like a baseball score, literally baseball scores in Canadian football. Now in the second quarter, 12:01 left to play. Ottawa hits a 53-yard field goal attempt, makes it 8-4. Also, Winnipeg gets a 2-yard touchdown pass, made it 14-4, and it was 15-4 on the extra point, 5:44. So, okay, third quarter now, it was 21-4. So it's a big lead for Winnipeg. 21-4, and then extra point made it 22-4. Um, also, Ottawa hits a 42-yard field goal, makes it 22-7. So it was 22-7. Also, Winnipeg with the at the 112 mark, it was an interception for a touchdown, made it 22-13. So it was a defensive touchdown by Winnipeg. The extra point was good. It was 22-14. Okay. Winnipeg goes for a 1 yard run for a touchdown, makes it 29-14. And that's how the game ended, 29-14 the final. Winnipeg wins. Okay, let's give you the stats on this game from last night. Winnipeg went 3 for 3 on third down, so they kind of converted on those third downs. They used 62 plays, and Ottawa used 46. Winnipeg had 443 yards total yards of offense, and Ottawa had 240. So they outplayed them on yards per play, 7.3 to 5.6. 22 of 28 on passing, and 21-36 for Ottawa. Rushing was 149 for Winnipeg, and 24 for Ottawa. 4.5 yards per carry. Rushing touchdowns, none. Red zones, 0. Both zeros on the corners. Also, fumbles, none. Penalties, Ottawa had 10 penalties to 5 for Winnipeg. So let's give you the Winnipeg numbers. Okay, Winnipeg. So he threw for 262. Harris was the leading rusher with 18 carries for 80. Demsky was also, and Harris was the leading catchers, and also Wartelesky for the Winnipeg Blue Bombers. They was the leading catchers on the in the game. And then sacks, they had let's see, Thomas had 1 for the Blue Bombers. So that's the breakdown of the Canadian Football League action last night in the games last night. We will see who's playing today. Okay, Toronto versus BC, and also Saskatchewan versus Calgary. We will have the recap probably later. Hopefully, we might not have it video. We'll have a video recorded, so that's the plan. So let's go ahead and switch off. Okay. Okay, we'll go ahead and switch this over. Okay, this concludes today's Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer show for Saturday, July 6th. We'll be back most likely tomorrow, but we're going to probably do a video recap most likely later. We'll have it uploaded to Facebook and YouTube, so it will be up later. So I'm going to have a recap. So we're not going live again, so we'll come back tomorrow, same time, 11 o'clock. So we'll be back on air. Like, share, and subscribe. It's very important. We share this video to get this out there for the folks because look, I do these videos not for money or fame. I do these videos for the labor of love. That's one thing I do it for. So you can follow me on Facebook at facebook.com/kerry.wehmeyer. That's the number 75. Also Instagram, you can follow me at sports_talk 2505. Also, you can follow me on Sports Talk 78 on the WordPress. Just look for Sports Talk 78 website. Also, you can follow me on Reddit. That's reddit.com/user/LSU_2lane2505. And also you can follow me on Tumblr. That's tumblr.com/sportstalk78. And also you can follow me on the Sports Talk with Kerry Wehmeyer Facebook page. That's the actual sports page. You can follow me at facebook.com/KLW782540. 782540. So that is plenty of ways you can follow me on this platform. So until then, everybody have a good afternoon. Please be careful with the heat. I think it's going to get up into the 90s today, close to 100. So please be careful. That's very important. So everybody have a good afternoon everywhere you're at.